Well, here we are again at the Motley Croc Show. It is 30 days into the new year, and it seems like it was 3 minutes ago. My God, makes me want to have some fat bread, if you know what I mean. Anyways, behind the scenes, I've got the Manic Satanic, as always. What's up, Jeff? How you doing, buddy?
What's up? It's been a week, but I'm all right.
I'm hearing it. And we have the famous Bumblebee tuna. I'm wearing, I was going to be on, so I wore one of my little, those little, pygmy necklaces that they make at the airport.
Yeah,
I did
awesome.
that for her.
I love it.
I like it. I actually like that necklace.
I do too. It's made by Zombie Head. For those of you who want to know, the company's called Zombie Head. You should check them out there. It makes some really cool stuff. It's pretty pricey, so if you're poor, don't go look. Now, exploring the unknown. What's up, man? How are you? And look who it is.
Hey, yo.
Hey.
Are you going to eat on the show? All right, I'll take you off for a minute.
I'm not eating fat bread.
Well, that's unfortunate for you.
You know what? I respect the ball.
What's up, Sean?
Noodles on the show. Good for you.
Yes.
What's up?
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of times when she calls or leaves a message, she's eating.
I just finished work, man. I got to eat. I get hangry.
I am actually at this time unemployed. Believe it or not.
Really? I thought because you're traveling, right? You're going to leave.
Yeah. The Arizona contract got scuttled because of a hot cannabis test. However,
you smoke too much weed, bro.
Yeah, I'd have to try out for like 2 months just to get clean. But I told them in advance. It was actually the recruiter, and I told them, I sent them my card. I asked both the recruiter and the credentialing lady. I said, "Is this going to be an issue?" I should have, known. Thinking back that both times I got nothing but crickets, but they kind of.
I'm sorry, man.
And that's all right. My last day at work was the 27th, and I actually the night before asked if it was cool if I stay on another couple of weeks, but it was already too late. And in fact, halfway through my shift, they cut off my computer and door privileges.
Oh,
It's
no.
12:30, and I worked till 6:30 in the morning, so it was a whole night thing.
What is that, like a security thing?
No, it's as soon as you're out of the system, your badge doesn't work. But I had
so you're just kicked out. You're like,
yeah,
fuck this guy. Don't let him in. It's Jeff.
I had a packed emergency room, and it was just me, and I was trying. I had it was like 100 and something patients, and I was running around like a madman. A lot of gunshot wounds and shit. So it was a crazy night, man. It was crazy.
Well, yeah, I'm sure you're going to be able to spring back and find something, though, aren't you?
Oh, without a doubt. I actually, I'm already looking, and there'll be plenty more. And it's weird now because I kind of had a weird feeling about that contract. There was something about it that I wasn't super excited, and so maybe it was just the universe telling me this is it. I found a new recruiter who said she would make sure that if I had a facility that tested for cannabis, that it would not be included on my test.
So. I'm sorry. That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life.
It's absolutely ridiculous that.
So you can go get blasted drunk after work every night,
right?
But you can't just smoke a joint. Fucking jackasses.
Or whatever else I had a prescription for,
What world do we live in, bro?
I'm telling you, weed is it's the devil's lettuce, man. That's what it is.
Yeah, we need more people to die that have
pissed.
that feeling. That way we can move people who matter up into those positions.
I'm telling you, dude, the next voting cycle is going to be a huge difference.
That's the same people that don't like gay people because they're scared of it.
Yeah.
He's gay.
People smoking
don't
weed.
Talk to him. He's gay. You could come home with the devil on your fingers.
Perverts, man. I'm telling you. Ridiculous.
People are so fucking... Just makes another reason, like I always say on the show, and I've told each and every one of you, we don't kill enough of the right things, and we let too much of the wrong things live.
Ain't that the truth? Ain't that the truth?
I said things to be, because if I said beings, then people would get upset, and then they'd be listening. Things like stupid ideas. Let's kill stupid ideas and ridiculous, old, outdated ideologies.
Yeah, the thing that really bothers me most about that whole situation is that they don't test to see if you've used marijuana that day.
What's up, Raleigh?
System. They just test for the metabolites, which can be, in my particular case, because I am a frequent and habitual user, the metabolites will stay in my urine for up to like 2 months. Last time I had to clean out for the job that I had before, it took me 5.5 weeks of home tests to show clean. That's without touching a drop. And
damn, that's almost like your underwear is made of marijuana, dude. It's just sucking in all day.
Like when I die, y'all might just want to grind me up and smoke me. It'd be pretty cool. It's what I do on my own time. Who cares, man? If I want to fucking snort cocaine off a hooker's ass, it's none of their business as long as I'm not doing it on the premises of work.
They call them lick sticks. Oh my God. And I thought fat bread was funny.
Sticks.
In Australia. That's interesting.
Yeah, we call that something else here.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'd have a bowl, Jeff. Yeah. So will I.
You guys, I'll put it in my will. I'll will you. I'll get cremated or partially cremated, I guess. Dried. I don't know. Let's figure it out.
What are you doing? We're smoking Jeff.
Jerky.
What part do you have? I'm not sure. I think it was his arm.
Dude, I'll tell you what, you're gonna have a good time smoking Jeff. There's no doubt about it. I already know.
I can imagine.
I'll stand by my product.
That's going to be like Moon Rocks times 1,000.
I'm telling you.
Most people don't know what Moon Rocks, but
to go to a state where it's legal recreationally, and there's so much more shit available than here in Florida, where they really restrict stuff. So
she's just going to hang in the roof for a few weeks.
Nice. That's perfect.
Kind of dry you out.
Holly knows how to do it. She'll cure me.
That's how when we want to like dry lizards, we stick them on the AC unit. When they're, you find them dead, you lay them, they turn into those little crispy guys. It's so cool, man, when you find a mummified iguana.
Little anoles.
Yeah. They kind of stick like the frogs do. Like if you dry a frog out, that's fucking awful, man. That's just terrible. Y'all dried up like a slug. But yeah, man, that's really terrible that people still do that. I don't understand the idiocracy that we have, man. It's like,
yeah, it's ridiculous. And it's illegal in Arizona to deny me a job because of a cannabis test. However, the company that tested me, the recruiter, was in Florida. So that's how I got fucked. I mean, they were like, you could take another test in 30 days. I was like, it's not going to be any different from the one I took last week.
Yeah. So. That's just, I still think that's ridiculous. I'm sorry.
I agree. And have a prescription.
Yeah, so I don't understand that. I think that's
Green Relief is a legitimate doctor.
Is that what it says? Stop it. Get out of town. Dr. Green Relief?
Yeah.
No, my doctor's that wrote my prescription is Dr. Thrasher. That's a cool last name, but it's a real person.
I want to party with Dr. Thrasher.
So do I. I mean, who wouldn't want to party with Dr. Thrasher?
Right?
That sounds like the opening song to that sounds like a Motley Crue song, Dr. Thrasher.
Who's the one you call Dr. Thrasher?
He's the one they call. Yeah.
Or a rock band. Or like a really good rock band name.
Dr. Thrasher.
Dr. Thrasher.
So I want to touch on some things. So part of like what I put up today was like, we're going to talk about Dejavu because I
feel like we've talked about that before.
See, now there's some really cool avenues we can go with it, man. And I was talking this week with Marissa about it, and she's going to give us like the tribal things that people believe from way long time ago, whatever, like from different, origins of life and stuff. And, I was thinking, it'll be for another show, but yeah, man, there's some cool stuff going on with that. And I think that I want to touch on that. And then when I go back to us, Jeff, in our younger days, so I said, sex and drugs. Did rock and roll really sell sex and drugs, or did sex and drugs sell rock and roll?
I don't know, but rock and roll and sex are a lot better on drugs. I'll tell you that much. Right.
So there's a theory, but like they used it in everything. Like, so, using things where, like all the songs of that era, I've been reading up on stuff because there's just a lot of really cool music. Like, Jeff, I don't know if you remember them. A lot of people don't. I showed them to my friend Sean this week. It was a band called Dirty Looks.
Dirty Looks sounds familiar.
Yeah, they're a fucking awesome metal band, man. Like if you haven't heard them, like their second album, I think
70s or 80s.
It's definitely 80s.
Okay.
See, I was thinking 70s, 80s, like acid rocky metal. No,
it's rock metal. Like it's a hybridized between like Dick Rock and AC/DC.
Interesting.
And so I think, it's good. Like there's a song called Blue Tequila. And then when you got to slam it to my heart, I mean, that dude, when I listen to that, man, I know why I am the way I am today. But I think that because I think the music did something to me. You know how like Marissa was telling me about island music, it makes you want to move around and stuff. It like gets you, but that kind of stuff was different. Like Brittany, like New Kids on the Block and stuff.
I did.
Who did you
do?
Brittany was hanging tough.
Jordan Knight. Do you have a crush on Jordan Knight?
Jordan and Danny. Those were
you didn't like Jordan. You like BB Mac better.
Danny, the one that looked like Spock, kind of with the eyebrows.
No, when I was little though, I was.
No, that was Danny.
Jordan
that was
fan.
Danny. Jordan was the hot one. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they were my faves.
So funny.
Yeah. My sister liked Joey. I was not a Joey fan.
No,
I like
he
the
was
older ones.
too good. He was too good. Joey was
Yeah.
like a good boy.
Jordan
That's
and
really
Danny.
cool. Are you guys going to be there? Cool. That's cool, Chris.
I still have a New Kids on the Block sleeping bag.
Nice.
That's awesome.
I've kept some
Somewhere
stuff.
I have.
You have
pillowcase.
I saw that. Brittany had a sleep. They all had that. The sheets and everything. Like you'd go in there and lay on their face.
I still have a lot of my old
Man,
Yeah.
Jeff, if I was a little girl in the 80s and they had them on the sheets, I'd be sleeping naked every night. I'd wrap the sheet around the thing. I'd be kissing on it. Oh, I love you.
Who's to say we didn't kiss our pillows?
I'm hanging
just saying.
tough. Yeah, man. Those girls are nuts, dude. They love that stuff. They just pass out, wet their pants. It was unbelievable, man.
Yeah, it was like the new Beatles. People screaming.
And I was just sick to my stomach. Like, why? Like, there's nobody's playing any instruments. Nobody's writing their own song. They're just like, when you come in the mall, we're here. And they're like, oh my God. And they freak out. And I'm like, what are you? There's nothing to that, dude. There's nothing to that.
They danced.
The boy
They
band
danced.
phrase.
They were
Yeah,
singing,
they
they were dancing, they were moving those hips, for us.
Yeah, but that's not like the good stuff like back when Motown was doing it.
Oh, yeah. They did little spins and the hip shaking and all.
What was
The
that song? Oh,
Temptations.
Girl.
Man, huge Motown fan.
Bro, I forgot how much I saw a clip the other day, and I forgot how much I just fucking love The Sopranos, man.
Oh,
The show?
Oh my God.
yeah.
One of my favorite scenes, bro. One of my favorite scenes is so he had like this girl that was like this really pretty young girl that was like his side piece or whatever.
The Russian
And
one?
one of his buddy, remember, and his buddy went and had sex with her, and he's like playing a song. And then he turns around. Remember, it was like, oh girl, remember that song? He turns around. His buddy's in there, he's like, what are you doing? He's all fucking takes his belt off and he beats the shit out of his friend with a belt.
Exact scene. Yep.
And then he looks at her in the face and he goes, of all the fucking people, and he walks out. Oh my God, it was my favorite
Who's the
scene.
dude from Animal House?
Yep.
He was like a-
Great. That series that series is one of the best series about
At least
reality.
It's one of my all-time favorites. The end sucked balls, but the rest of it was
Oh
great.
man, I know. Let's not break it for people who hasn't seen it, but bro,
I haven't
Sopranos.
30 years old. Get on it. Spoilers.
Yeah.
I haven't seen
if
it
you
either, Marissa.
Yeah, if you watch The Sopranos, oh my God, great. I saw they're starting to put clips like now on the social media, and so you'll see different clips from that guy like being a hard ass and stuff. When he was like, the Italians, they just didn't mess around,
He
man.
died way too young, that dude. He was fucking great.
It was awesome. He did. He truthfully passed away too young, but he did a great job. That you believed he was Tony.
Yep.
Like you didn't even know him. He became that character so well already. It's like, oh, it's Tony, man. That's Tony. But I mean, Tony Soprano. I mean, even his kid. I mean, there was just so much to it. Like he did the things that most people wanted to do.
Yep.
Like, oh, I want to go back. They did what to my kid? He goes and fuck up some kids, dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't ever touch my kid. To other kids. I mean, like, it wasn't like he like got to the dad. He did the kids, and they worked his way to the family. Like, it was just a great series.
It really was. It's definitely in my top 10.
Sons
that's
of
what I mean,
Anarchy
so
was that way.
Oh, I
Yeah,
like
Sons of Anarchy.
I
Sons
like
of Anarchy was done well. It was done well.
Yeah. They did a
Listen,
good
I
job
lived that
with
lifestyle, and when people
You
go, "That's
did.
not how it really is," I'm like, fuck you talking about? How do you know? Yes, there was some enhancement to it, but no, they were pretty dead on how that shit went down, dude. Throwing motherfuckers in holes, burning houses down with them
It was
tied to beds and
believable.
shit. Like that shit happens, man. Bombing each other, shooting each other through cars, killings. I mean, come on, man.
Oh, dude, I remember some fucking killings when I was growing up with some of the wars up north, and it was insane.
Dude.
People and with the fucking like their dicks in their mouths and fucking their hands cut off.
Oh, it was fucking. They did some shit, dude. That was just a
bombing
different
people.
time. Now everybody's just pretty chilled out. I mean, you got to be. Technology is a little different, but I remember back in the day, man. A lot of that stuff, there were some understandings. If they got rid of a dirty person, bro, cops are like, let's just not even look that way. So less paperwork. They already know what's going down, but then sometimes they do it to you, and that's when
like
it's a problem.
Self-policing, house cleaning.
Yeah, and usually when cops,
let's
put it that way, but
You all I heard was cops, and then you blanked out until that way. Okay,
I said when cops get involved, usually then at that time it's never a good thing. It's just never a good thing for anybody involved. So, there's just like you not being able to be hired because you didn't pass a drug screening. There's just some things that the world has to figure out.
It's ridiculous. And I didn't even not pass. I went in with them knowing that I was going to fail. I made it very clear that, like, I mean,
And see, but here's the thing. Here's what's funny to me.
Yeah.
This is what reminds me of what you just said. Like, I just sent everybody a message about this teacher that worked in a school with young children.
Yep.
And he was like blindfolding the kids and making them open their mouth, and he was spoon feeding them his semen.
Jesus,
I just sent it to you guys. Oh yeah.
This got
So
dark
you think,
fast.
yeah. So you think, oh, this guy, my kids are in school, he's just safe and stuff. And then some of the pictures are like, wow, man, he's like holding their eyes shut and shit in some of these pictures. What's going on? It was a guy that developed film that had it, right? That found the pictures. And then when they caught what he was doing, they found the spoon. So he was like, he was, putting a little on there, dude. And then he was force feeding children his own semen and videoing it and stuff, bro.
I mean, if you want to,
But they won't let you work because they won't let you save lives because of weed. That's what I'm saying. He probably didn't smoke pot. He just fed children semen, but he had a job in a school.
If you could be a teacher working with little kids and not smoke weed on your off time, more power to you because you're a better man than I.
And that's what I'm saying. But so everybody talks about all this crazy shit, and I'm like, and everybody's still hung up on shit like weed.
Well, wasn't there like a big propaganda in the 1920s?
Yes.
You mean the 1950s, 1950s, 50s?
Yeah. Like,
late 40s, 50s.
Madness and
yeah, like he smoked a joint and then killed his best friend and beat up his wife. Yeah, that's a lie. I couldn't even swing if I was high. Just laugh at you.
It goes back to poor journalism, propaganda.
What's up, Nate?
Right, and it's a pushed agenda. It's nothing new that every media outlet has their own agenda, whether it's this side or that side. There's no middle ground when it comes to reporting something because otherwise you're not going to get the people who want the sexy news.
But it's okay to take methadone when you're getting off drugs. So whatever.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
It's also a push narrative too in the mainstream media. It's all a narrative. They're all pushing a certain narrative for an agenda that they want to push. So
listen, I've been doing some deep ass research on that, buddy.
It's age old, man.
I believe
Since
it.
the first caveman carved the first piece of news on the first rock, there's been fucking spin on it, period.
It's when it happened? It happened when CNN started. He knew exactly how to run the news. There was no other news channel. CNN was the first one. He did the 24-hour news network.
Oh, without
he figured out. I forget his name. It was oh God, what was that guy's name?
I can see his face.
Ted Turner.
Oh, Ted Turner.
Yes.
He owns CNN. He's like, we can run the news and we'll bring news from all over the world. He got advertisers involved, and everybody's like, oh shit, this guy's making money. And then what happens? Then somebody buys all of it.
Let me tell you. Say what you want about CNN, but during the first Gulf War, they had me fucking glued to that set. Wolf Blitzer did not.
But that's what I'm saying. They knew it. That's when it started. They're like, we have the attention of the American people. Way back when it started, dude. What's up, buddy? How you doing?
Hey, what's up, Michael? Yeah.
William Randolph Hearst probably did cost it. Yes, I believe so. Because you're talking.
If they tested for like immediate use, like something that stays in your system for 24 hours, like cocaine, you can do cocaine test 2 days later and you're clean. But with weed, the metabolites are there.
That's what Marissa said she does, so I believe you.
And especially, a well-rounded individual like myself, I hold on to a lot of weed in my fat cells.
Well, you know what? I still think it's ridiculous. I'm still upset because it's like, to me, that's controlling. You're control, man.
Right.
I have a problem with that.
Days off.
A person that smokes a joint is not going to kill somebody behind the wheel or kill a family or kill people. A drunk driver.
If you smoke too much and you get to driving, you could.
But I feel like, but correct me if I'm wrong, I feel like people that smoke weed are like way more relaxed and just want to lay low at home and hang out. People that get drunk want to go out party. Everything just seems, and then what sucks is like and then like it either makes you angry or you're like super bubbly, like there's whatever the alternative is, but then you feel like I don't need you to tell me what to do. I can get behind a wheel of a car, I can drive a car, and then like they're the ones that walk away while they just killed a whole family because they're intoxicated and they're relaxed. But yet the people with weed are like, I was home, man, I was watching TV and I passed out. It's like I don't get why I mean, if I was anything willing to control something like hardcore, like the prohibition, obviously alcohol, but not weed.
Alcohol,
I don't get it.
Body far worse for the motor skills. When I smoke, I'll kill a pizza, but not a person.
I don't know. I just don't get it. Like I really don't get it. I think there's people with like high anxiety or whatever. Like
I still think there's an
they're
integrated
relaxed.
fear in it all the way around. I mean, there's a fear in it, Marissa.
There is a fear, but my other thing is that when you look at the pure of the cannabis and like going back to plants, like there's so many medicinal purposes behind that, which goes then that fucks over the pharmaceutical companies, right?
Right.
And so I mean, my dad. Oops. Anyways, so my dad. I mean, he will.
I mean, but you should give some background on your dad. He's not just your dad. What was he professionally?
He's a trauma surgeon. And
okay, so he's a big deal.
I love my trauma surgeons. Love my trauma surgeons.
Put it this way, like
her dad's a trauma surgeon. Cool. So what'd he say?
So he will always try to prescribe weed or something more natural before all the other fucking drugs, because he understands how it's just all the pharmaceutical drugs will just keep you addicted. And it's like, there's a side effect. So you got to take this and then you got to take that, where he's like, Mother provided us with what can heal with anxiety or this or that. And it's just, cannabis is a threat to the pharmaceutical companies. So that is why the whole narrative of just trying to make it seem like it's bad. I mean, because it all goes back to money. And we had talked about this before, Troy. Like it all just goes back to money and control.
Absolutely. That's what it's all about. It's about that.
Yeah, Ricky.
I used to take just to go to sleep.
God damn it.
I get pretty keyed up sometimes. So to go to sleep, sometimes it takes me a lot, especially coming home from work in trauma. When I work in ER and trauma, I'm so keyed up by the time I get home. You know, I just want, like, I'm grinding my teeth, and, 40 milligrams of cannabis edibles, as opposed to taking, 100 of trazodone and an Ambien on top of it, is so much better for me.
And then feeling like shit sometimes the next morning.
Exactly. Oh, yeah. And I feel fine sleeping for 6 hours on a bunch of edibles.
Jeff, it's really different because working in that unit where you're working at, you're absorbing all of that hyperactive energy. You're absorbing all that horrific fear energy. You're just absorbing so many different energies. Your mind, your body's trying to just shut it out. I totally understand where you're coming from.
Yeah. Oh, there's times when I just got to go sit, like, literally in the bathroom. In the ER, there's like a table. I don't know why, like a little mini coffee table. And I'll just go sit on there for a second, just be like, all right, I just need to get my head back, get back in the game, because I have, 6 patients waiting on me, the same 6 doctors yelling at me because their patients need to come first, and, triage this, and this is more important than that. And it's just, but I love it.
Yeah. And you make a good living at it. And that's, you found a niche. And I just think that telling you can't work because of weed is just fucking dumb, dude. That's like
not even smoking weed at work. I mean, test my blood to see if I've smoked recently, or some kind of quantitative test, not just to see if I have metabolite in my blood, in my urine rather.
Yeah, they're just, yeah, I'm sorry, man.
All the pharmaceuticals that if I had a prescription, I could pop at work like they were Tic Tacs and nobody would blink an eye. Benzos, opioids.
Yeah, it'd be okay. So if you were on opioids, it'd be no problem. They're like, oh, it's a prescription.
Yeah,
exactly.
Oh my God, doesn't that annoy you just a little?
And then those are
what's up, Judy?
It's all about money. It's all about somebody's, like, that's why there's a lot more treatments and a lot less cures, because curing doesn't make money. Treating makes money.
No, you said it, bro. You said it. And
absolutely,
full beds make money.
Exactly that. And
so do full prisons. Don't let that one sink in.
Yeah, that's why I work for a not-for-profit hospital, because they don't push unnecessary shit all the time.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, give them this treatment, that treatment, and this one. I was like, they don't need it. And they're probably billing the insurance company like $1,000 for something that costs them 48 cents.
Oh my God, you're so right about that. I saw some of the charts when I had COVID. I couldn't believe what they billed. Unfucking real. But here's what's
crazy,
funny,
man.
Yeah, it was upwards of like almost $2 million. What in the fuck is going on?
There's a thing called an incentive spirometer, and it's this little plastic thing with a straw tube, and it's meant to pop open your lungs. You take it and you draw in, so it opens up your lungs. Now it's probably 40 cents worth of plastic retail, and they charge, I think it's $600 because it comes with a respiratory consult, which is me walking in there and be like, no, you don't blow in the straw, you suck through it.
Oh,
can you imagine, dude?
Oh, they just put them in the room. Any patients that were like cardiac patients, they just literally put one in the little basket that they put in the room.
Oh my
You
God.
didn't have a choice. And God forbid you need.
Unless you didn't have insurance, they wouldn't put it in there.
Oh, they
Like,
get.
that motherfucker can die. We can't build that room. We'll build 201. He's got real good insurance.
We charge for standby time. If I spend 15 minutes in a room, I got to charge them for 15 minutes of standby time.
That's insane.
You see, to me, that's
so crazy. Like comparing the medical care system here in Belize to the States, like it's just the cost.
Listen.
Oh, here we go. Okay, what?
I know what you're gonna do. You're gonna talk some shit, and you're gonna talk about how great Belize is, and you're gonna talk some shit on us. No, go ahead. I'm just
jealous. Don't be so jealous. Don't hate.
I'm jealous. I love it.
I'm jealous.
No, but it was like perfect example. So I ended up having a C-section with my daughter, and my cousin a week after had also C-section in the States. Maya was born here. I had full meals, 2 nights, my own private room, C-section, all that stuff. It only cost me $3,500 US. And I had 2 private nurses, $3,500 US.
There's hotel rooms you can't get for that, minus the C-section and the good drugs.
Yeah.
You're
and
right.
Wow.
my stepmother is a postnatal nurse. And so my parents were there when all that came. And yes, come live in Belize. But she was amazed at the care that we received. And she straight out was like, nurses need to come and see what it is to actually treat a patient. You know what I mean? Because it was the people that are caring for me, they actually cared for me. This was not like,
there's so many nasty
Yeah.
people in healthcare that, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, Marissa, but I see it all the time when they're just like if a patient needs them, it's like a burden, like, oh, I was in the middle of scrolling through TikTok and, they're code bluing and they're
collecting a check, bro. They're not like you. That's what I was going to tell you.
I hate going in and having somebody tell me, oh, the respiratory therapist that was in here today was rude. They were shitty. I asked them questions they didn't answer. I was like, man, I know how it is to be, half of them are alone. They don't have people there. They're scared to death. They don't know what's going on with their health.
Yeah.
And you give them like 5 minutes of compassion. And next thing you know, they're writing nice emails to your supervisor and saying, hey, this person was great to me. They made me feel like a human being and not a dollar.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's what I was going to say, bro. I was going to tell you that there are some good people out there.
Well, there really are.
That's awesome, Holly.
And then the asshole. So you have 10 fucking dickbags and one good person.
Ooh, I got wildlife. 1 second.
That's okay. You do that.
And God, if I.
But what happens is they make good people look bad, bro.
They really do, and it makes it makes everybody look like an asshole. And don't get me wrong, if I have a difficult patient, me, I don't take any shit. I'll put them in their place and be like, hey, look, either you're going to do this or we're going to stick a tube down your throat. Those are your choices, or you're going to die. What do you want to do?
Yeah.
Sometimes people come into the hospital and they don't.
Yeah, everybody. I think it's funny because everybody wants to be like Canada, Jeff.
Right? Oh, God.
It should be free. Oh no, it's not. What's wrong with you? Oh, you have this where you ain't getting in for 2 months because we have this in front of you.
When I used to live in Seattle, all my friends from Vancouver would come down and pay cash for American doctors. No shit.
Yep.
So they didn't have to wait.
Yeah.
I'm glad Craig's here. Now the party started.
I bet they were, Craig.
I know Jeff, one of the female nurses shaved me for surgery. Pretty cool. I love that guy. They didn't do that to me, bro. I have some chest hair, and they stuck those damn things on me. I had to pull them off.
Dude.
Felt like I was ripping my nipples off.
What?
When we put a breathing tube.
No, they were like playing big. Oh, God.
Things to their cheeks to keep the tube from coming out. It's like a little securement device. And when I have to peel those off, I feel so bad. I'm like, sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm really sorry.
Oh, God. I know. But, man, it was like on my chest. Like,
why?
Because I didn't have time to shave before I got sick.
Why didn't they? They're supposed to.
What for the chest? Sometimes you shave the chest. Sometimes you don't.
They did it. They were like sticking them on me everywhere. Boom. It's everywhere.
Emergency. There's never. A lot of times it's not time.
Okay.
So they just make, instead of making it easier where they shave the chest and put the pad on, it's easy to get off. They just make a stickier pad that'll stick to your hair and your chest more.
Before we get started, on Dejavu, because I want to hear what Marissa has to say about that. And we want to talk about some sex cells. I was riding a motorcycle back with one of my good friends, and we were coming back up the interstate in a group, and I hit something in the road, because you know what I mean, Jeff, like throws you up sometimes.
Yep.
Well, what it did was smashed my nuts and unraveled one of them.
Oh, Jesus.
It's called torsion, which is a common sport.
Yeah.
Bro.
It did. So by the time I got home, my ball sack was so big, it looked like a fucking grapefruit, bro. Like, it was cool. I was showing all my friends. I'm like, look at this fucking thing. But I had to go have, I'm trying to think of the word because I know it's common and I'm a ding dong. I don't have any kids.
Oh, like elephantitis of the nuts?
A sonogram. I had to have a sonogram. Yeah. So I go into this. Ultrasound. So with the jelly and all that.
Yep.
So they're like, hey, put your penis, like just call it a dick or something. Put it behind this towel and let it fall out. So I'm laying on this table with all these people, dude, and they're rubbing all this jelly all over my fucking huge sack, bro. And they're like going back and forth and like it's torn. And then I got this little
jelly.
It was unbelievable. I got like a doctor from Asia. She was either Japanese or whatever, and she kept telling me, what you been doing? I'm like, I was riding a motorcycle. She's like, no, you wear condom with hooker? I'm like, what are you talking about? This is not an STD, man. Like, I smashed these motherfuckers on the gas tank. So they treated me pretty good, but it was such a really good time to stand in front of somebody with your nut bag out, dude, that you don't know. And you like look at the top of their head, and then you look up, and you're like, this is cool. I wish I could have filmed the whole thing, man. It was just such a great experience.
My first bike, it was a Sportster 48, and it came with, the seat was literally like a completely flat.
I love them. I know exactly what that is. I know that
and
bike.
The first couple of times when I hit my brakes hard, I'd nut right into the fucking boom, right into the tank, man.
Especially if you armor all that seat to keep it shiny.
Heck yeah. Yeah, the middle of the tank was always very shiny.
Man, that was something we used to tell the kids to do when we were young. We're like, hey, man, if you want that seat to look good, you need to armor all that dirt bike seat. Those motherfuckers take off, hit the brakes, slide right off that thing. There's no grip. You know they're supposed to be grippy. You armor all that. That's slick as shit, son.
Yep.
I've done a lot of damage to my genitalia with motorcycles because I told the story. Remember I got my dick stuck in a big wheel when I was a kid? Oh, I was hung there by my dick.
Was it like broken and it cracked?
What?
Dude, that's funny that you said that because I have a similar story. With
Clean your fucking head up right now. I wasn't fornicating with the big wheel, Marissa. So my parents had like this hill in the backyard. Like my dad made this really cool hill, and he had built like this tree house and everything. And there was like a hump back there. I don't know if it was over top of it or whatever. But I would go to the top and I would like fucking cruise down real fast, like I was a badass, right? Well, we're the triple tree, and for those of you who don't know what that is, that's the fork area that holds the wheel in, and there's a triple tree in there in a motorcycle. Well, this just had a bolt, and there's a little plastic steering wheel that was connected to a long neck. Well, as you rode it a lot, it would start to get loose and there'd be a gap in there. Well, I went down the hill and I hit the wall, slid all the way up, pulled back on the things and hung myself on my dick. And there was nowhere for me to go, bro. Nowhere for me to go. Had the whole head in there. It was just smashed up, dude. It looked cool like that night because I had like a big helmet. And I'm like, yeah, I got a bigger helmet than you to my brothers. But it hurt when I did it, though. Every time I peed through it or burnt.
Do you remember they used to have these go-kart places all over South Florida called Roadrunner? Remember those places?
Fuck yeah.
Go-karts?
Yeah.
Around the track and shit. So when I was a kid, we used to come down to Florida. We used to have a place in Boynton Beach. And we'd go to this place, I think it was in West Palm, this little fucking Roadrunner place. And the cars were really old, so they were cracked on the bottom, and you pretty much sat on the floor.
Sure.
And the cracks, when the car is moving, they do this,
Oh, God.
And I was wearing a bathing suit, and I went around the corner, and it slammed shut just on just the littlest part of skin, which is worse than getting your home.
Oh my God!
And just kind of the pinch and pull. Oh my God, man, it was awful,
bro. And you were in swim shorts, but back then they used to have potato sacks in them. Did yours have a potato sack?
The internet.
Yeah, the internet, dude. It did. It had. I hated those things. They'd always tuck up, dude. They'd get beach sand in them, and you chafe. I used to cut them out, man. Who wants their fucking dank in a net?
They still make them that way.
One more dick story,
right?
One more dick story
because Marissa loves it. So when the whole family we were young one time, and me and my brothers were fucking around in the basement, and we took some of Brittany's Disney movies and we recorded really,
I know what you're gonna say.
Really vulgar shits over them, like in the middle. So the whole family sitting down. I think we're watching like some Disney movie. It was like Little Mermaid
Fox
or
and the
something.
Hound.
That's it. You remember? So my brother Josh. My brother Josh gets naked and he gets in this doorway and he puts his hands up in the doorway like this and he starts spinning his dick really fast, like a helicopter. And I remember, I'm like, God, I hope I didn't remember what video we used because we're just fucking around all the time. You put a piece of tape. Jeff, do you remember put a piece of tape over the end and you can record over anything? Do you remember that?
I thought you were talking about putting a piece of tape over the end of something else. I was like, man.
No, over the VHS. So you can take anybody's VHS and you can copy it. You just put it as a piece.
Put it over the hole.
Yeah. Most people are too young to know what that means.
On cassettes, you can do that too. After you broke off the little tabs that made it so you couldn't record over them.
Yeah, right. But you just put the little hole. Exactly, right. So he's spinning it and he's burping at the same time, right? And so remember those big screen TVs that projected, dude?
Oh,
the whole family was there. My mom and dad, bro, were fucking trying to fly to the TV to turn it off. And everybody's just sitting there with their eyes open. My brother's like, bro, he's just like fucking burning it up, dude. I was dying. My mom was not happy about that. My mom was pissed about that, man.
Ever since
we learned it from Andrew Dice Clay.
Oh, hell yeah.
Mom and dad would vet like every VHS after that day. Like they were
like,
we have to watch it first and make sure.
My mom would fast forward it with the screen on so she could look first and make sure there was nothing. So she'd watch like 2 hours and like 30 minutes. She would just spin through it, making sure nobody's put no dick. I said, Mom, we only did it on the one. We didn't do any more. She goes, I don't trust any of you. I don't trust any of you.
That is fucking hilarious, man. That really.
I will never. I will never. Ashley, you do. You have no idea the stuff we did. If I write a book, dude.
Oh, the tell-all. Actually, Brittany has to write the book about you. It's got to be the tell-all.
Like when I accidentally shoved a fucking brush handle up my brother's ass and he got stuck, and then my dad opened the door. Oh yeah. So my one brother was adopted, bro, and he was missing a leg, and so we all shared 3 bedrooms in this downstairs area, but we all had one bathroom, and each door went to it. So if somebody was in the bathroom, so he comes out of the shower, and we're all dudes. So I go in there, I'm going to take a piss, and he crawls out of the shower. And I'm like all cool. I had long hair, man. I took a piss. I go over to the mirror. I'm combing my hair. And he fucking slaps me real hard in the back. Like he just goes, slap and tries to crawl away. Like you don't even have a leg. You're going to slap me and crawl away. So I went. It was a goodie brush. Do you remember the goodie brushes? They kind of had like a bent, pointy end on them, Jeff. They looked like they were plastic, but they looked like fake wood. And they had the real bristles. Yeah. I spun it around, dude. And he was crawling, and I dove at him to fucking frog like his butt cheek really bad. So it was bit, and it missed. And it went in his leg and in his asshole. He screams at the top of his lungs. And my dad flies the door open and he looks down. My brother's laying flat on the ground naked with a brush in his ass. I'm standing there, dude. My brother Johnson's looking. He's like, what the hell is going on? Take it out. And I go to pull it out and he screams.
Out, dude.
He goes, you didn't scream that loud when it was going in there. Take it out. He was pissed off. It must have freaked him out. I'll never forget those days, dude.
Oh, my God, dude.
I remember we set my brother on fire in his bed. And my mom never caught us till she changed the sheets and saw the mattress was burnt down. And we stuffed a bunch of shit in there, dude, to fix the holes. But we would take lighter fluid and light his bed. We'd fall asleep. I'd light it on fire and slap him, dude. And it would like light the whole fucking bed on fire.
Jackass.
It was like that. Yeah, we always like that. Brittany knows, man, because we'd always be in trouble. We'd always my brothers would do that dumb shit. Guys just do dumb shit. Like I remember John had this thing called the rocket ship, and he would like be naked and he'd jump on somebody and try to fart on him. And I remember he shit on my brother's face one time, and it was a big fucking problem. So then we had to get even with him, and we fucking burnt the bed up. And I'm just so surprised my parents lived through all that, dude. I really am. I mean, I feel terrible for them because they're such great people. And then to have us, it's like just to be like, what the fuck is going on? My mom's like, oh, everyone, it was just a nice family. Just a nice family, and you're burning the beds up and shitting all over things. I'm like, oh, man.
One day.
Oh, my God. I want to sit down with your parents and hear all these stories.
Oh, man. The day that we fucking lost my brother's leg.
He's been white since he was 30.
We fucking, you will. We put my brother in a garbage can, bro, on a 100-foot cliff, and we were letting him go down an elevator, but the fucking handles ripped off, and the son of a bitch flies down. And it's wintertime. It's in Colorado. He flies down the mountain. Me and my brother holding the rope. It's like, boop. And I remember we looked at each other. Oh, fuck, it broke. It broke. And all of a sudden you hear the can, bam, but no noise. So we go down there looking for him, bro, and he's all bloody, and his legs all the way over on the other side of the valley. So we had to go get that. And so we're trying to put his leg back on, and we're dragging him back up to the horse trough. It's frozen. So my brother gets a brick. He breaks it, and I stick John in there, and I'm dipping him in the ice water, trying to get the blood off of him so my mom wouldn't freak out when she saw it. And he did it all for cookies, dude. Not for the nookie, for the cookie.
But tell him what you told mom happened to John, because that mom, when she tells her,
my mom said, "What?" My mom's face is like, what the hell happened? I go, Mommy slipped in the grass. He goes, slipped in the grass. We had to have his jaw wired shut and everything, dude. He had to have his jaw shut. He fucking almost died, bro. He almost died. It was one of those old metal garbage cans. Like, I just get in it, bro. And we were rolling it down, and the handle ripped off, dude. What a dumb thing to do.
I feel like Troy was the ringleader in a lot of this shit. That's what I
Some
think.
of it.
Yeah.
Some of it.
It was him and Josh. It was definitely him and Josh. Those two, man, they were like, yeah, those
God,
two.
dude.
And then my dad goes and leaves a shit ton of fucking fireworks in the closet, and we took them out. We burnt down like 30 fucking acres. I told my mom a cigarette did it. Somebody must have thrown a cigarette. What happens?
Oh, dude,
Same guy who fell in the garbage can ratted us out.
I think I told this story on the show before. When I was maybe like 4 or 5 years old, my mom sent me to my room, and I snuck out, and I couldn't get back in the house. So I rang the doorbell, and I was like, "Don't worry, I fell out the window, but I'm okay." I live in the second floor. And she's calling my dad at work. She's like, "He fell out the fucking window," screaming, checking me for broken bones. Man, I had to come clean because it was just too much of a freak out.
Mom and
Did it
Dad
hurt?
had to put
Yes.
screws in our basement windows to keep the boys in. So
Oh yeah, my
No,
parents.
that was to keep girls out.
Right,
We can't talk about that on this show.
right. Brittany,
My mom,
Brittany,
she'd tell my dad, she'd go down in there and see if they have girls in there. So my poor dad would have to get up in the middle of the night and walk down and open the door. He'd open the door. We have some girls in the room. He's like, "Come over here and talk to me.
get out.
Your mom wants everybody to go out of the house right now. We don't like." I'm like, "Mom, Dad, what do you mean?" He goes, "Everybody needs to leave right now."
Dad had to go down and take care.
I know my mom would be like, "Go down there and check it out all the time."
Boom, boom.
Yeah, we had so much fun. We did
We had
so
like a
many things.
two-story house, so you would hear Dad boom, 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 and then
Bro.
you'd hear a door, and then it'd be like boom, 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 boom. And
Yep,
then
he'd
you'd
be
hear,
coming.
like,
I'm like, "He's coming, he's coming."
yeah, then you'd hear like,
Yeah, my parents lived on the opposite end of the
and then it would
house,
be like boom,
downstairs.
boom, 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 boom.
You know how you hear him? You hear him on the stairs. And one time we were fucking around. We were supposed to be sleeping. It was
hear
like
him on
Christmas
mumble.
time, man. It was like Christmas time. We always got fucked up on Christmas, man. We're like, "Oh my God, what are we gonna get?" You know, G.I. Joe. So we're fucking around this room, and we're out of our bed. And my dad opens the door really fast. My brother tries to jump back in his bed, but he missed it, and he fucking slammed his face right into the nightstand. And I thought he broke his neck. He hit it so
I don't
hard
know if
because
your parents had
he
great-
ran to jump in his bed,
They
bro.
really did.
My dad goes, "You missed," and he shut the door. I'm like, "Oh, I bet we better not get up anymore, man. That's fucked up."
Didn't
I'm telling you, man.
Didn't Josh break his hand in a glass door downstairs in a shower or something like that? Right? Like
I don't think so. I don't
thought
remember.
he-
He might have. There were some
I thought
terrible
he
things
was.
that have
I
happened.
thought he came home drunk, and he wasn't supposed to be drunk, and everybody was like something like that. I was really little. Maybe
Oh,
I got
no.
the pieces
No,
mixed up.
we broke into this house and we stole all the wine, and my brother drank it all. And I had to go get my mom. I'm like, "Mom, he won't stop throwing up." She's like, "What's wrong?" And they're putting on the robe, and they come downstairs, and my dad had to walk him for like 3 hours, dude, because they were worried he was going to have alcohol poisoning. We put him in bed, and he kept rolling over and vomiting all over himself. So I throw him back in the shower, but he drank like, you know, those old school big green jugs of wine, Jeff.
handles.
Yes, and he drank 2 of them. And he tells my
my
dad, "I'm
God.
never gonna do it again." He was going up and down to my poor father, but my dad was walking, and he went to yell at me. "I can't believe you guys are a bunch of idiots." And he went to point and dropped him, and he landed on his head. He's like, boom. My mom's like, "Bill, his head, he'll be fine." That's what happened.
That's what it was. Okay. I just remember something with like drinking too much, and you guys were like, "Oh no."
Oh
We
yeah,
can't hide
dude.
this.
Oh
I'm pretty
yeah.
sure my mother, regrets the time she thought it was a good idea to buy me a retractable fire ladder for my room. This is when I was
Oh,
like a teenager,
God,
and that thing got so much use. Yet we never had a single fire in the house.
that's pretty awesome, dude.
Dude, it was like
pretty awesome.
like a chain ladder, and you had little hooks for the window, and you just drop it down and be like,
That's
Yeah, the
awesome.
wine jugs, Ashley, they were wine jugs. This is like a good time show. And there was a bunch of us living there, and Brittany was always like a little kid, so she got the blunt of everything. Like my friend Bill Blair would like fart in her cereal and stuff in the morning for her. And she was so funny because Brittany has always been extremely animated.
Yep.
So like she would freeze sometimes with her mouth like this. Mom,
We have home video of
he
it.
passed gas in my Fruit Loops. And my mom would come flying down. What happened?
he turned your
He
fruity pebble.
passed gas, and she's little, in my Fruit Loops.
It was the best time, bro.
Because I'd be minding my own business in like the sunroom having my breakfast, and he would just be like, "Hey,
Bill
B, I got something for you." And I'm like, "What's that, Bill?" And then he'd just come over and grab my head and like fart in my face or fart in my cereal.
Or her glass. Like Brittany would struggle to pour milk.
Or my glass.
He would hold the jug and she'd try to pour it like this because she was little. And Bill would be like, I got you. He'd take the glass, he'd fart in it, and then he'd pour milk. You go, here you go. I added some flavor, bro. And Brittany would stand like this. Mom! And she never said farted. He passed gas in my drink, Mom. And my mom's like, you guys have to cut that. Come on, cut that out, okay?
It happened all the time.
Look, I just did cut it right in the glass.
Just cut that out. What's wrong with you?
Oh,
So,
It happened all the
We have
time.
some stories, dude. We've done some amazing things. I mean, no, when I mean some crazy shit, like dude,
We
like
grew up wild. That's what I
we
always
did.
tell
We were like,
people.
I think we missed
grew up
the
wild.
bus on the jackass thing, dude.
Oh, without a doubt, man.
I'll tell you a story, Marissa. You since your jaws dropped. My one brother John was kind of a douche nozzle, and he would go in my room and he would steal my fucking CDs, and he would sell them at school. So I said, "Okay, motherfucker." So my parents are upstairs, or whatever. And I go to a lamp and I cut the cord off the lamp. Now, in the old days, we had these long handles. They were like long. They weren't the circular ones. They were long. So
Yeah.
I taped the negative end of the wire plug to the doorknob. And then I bent the wire like this. So the minute he turned my doorknob, he would get shocked. Plugged the lamp cord in. He went to go in my room and he blew every breaker in the fucking house, dude. He shocked himself so bad, dude. My mom's like, what the hell were you thinking about? I'm like, I don't want him in the goddamn stealing my shit. So I rigged him up, and he like grabbed that door to go in. Boy, that motherfucker woke him up. He was all fucking weird looking, and his hair was all up and shit.
Home Alone them.
Oh my
Yeah,
God, it was the
exactly.
best thing ever. It was
Mom
the best
just-
thing ever.
Home Alone them.
Mom just reminded the knife fight you did on Mom.
There's so many. I'm sharing stuff for my book. So what I did was I took an old 8-track tape.
My book.
I took it. I talked about Flavio and I are talking about getting a Ghost Rider and
You
talking about
gotta
some of the
do
most
it.
extreme things. Like, remember when we were when the all black college football team stopped at the gas station and Flavio pulled his pants down to pee inside the urinal and he goes, yeah, and he's doing like this, and they're going, World Star, that type of shit we're gonna put in books. But I took an old 8-track tape. If for those of you know what an 8-track is, it was like before cassette, it was this big box thing, like it looked like a frisbee but square. And you could like
Awesome.
stick it in, whatever. And I unscrewed it and I took all this cardboard and I folded it all up. And I put tape around it. And I told my brother Josh, let's get in a fight. I'm going to stab you in the back. So between his shoulder blades, my mom's cooking and there's a doorway. And so I taped it. We taped it around and with some masking tape. And I go, I won't miss. And I put a little spot. And we acted like we were yelling, bro. And I straight up fucking chased him. He runs to the kitchen. I'm chasing him. I stab him in the back, dude. And he fucking falls down with a knife sticking out of his back. My mom, man. My mom's face. When she looked over, she's like, what did you do?
Oh, yeah.
I was so like freaked out that we're just kidding. It's a joke. And I pulled it out. Oh my God, dude. I didn't think it was going to be so serious. But it was pretty bad. Like, I'm surprised my parents are still alive.
The fact that she didn't drown any of you guys in the tub.
Yeah, no shit.
Hats off to her, man.
Yeah, Kurt does not like having those things done, and Daniel has no couth. Like, he's just not very polite, or he doesn't think about anything. He's like he can't read a room, and he's weird. So Kurt and him are talking.
Oh,
He's just
geez.
talking. We're all talking about radiated tortoises. We're in like a little group. We're talking out, and Kurt's like, "Yeah, this is my female, and this is thing." And Daniel's staring at him, and just looks over, just farts in his face, like just lets it all out. And Kurt does not get down on some farts, yo. That's not his thing. He was so disgusted. He goes, don't fucking do that. And you're not allowed to shit in my house either. Don't even go into my bathroom. I don't want you doing that. He goes, come on, dog, grow up. He said. And Daniel's like, what? Me and my mom do it to each other all the time. I'm like, well, Kurt don't like it. First day over there helping out Kurt, he drops a fucking bomb in his face. Like, this guy, we weren't really that whacked out. We just fucking did random things. That's true, Ashley. It makes him gassy.
Oh
Yeah.
my
Daniel's
God.
so cute. He went to meet Ashley for the very first time, like when he was a little kid, and he didn't wear any underwear. Remember that, Daniel? Since you want to talk about random things. But anyways, he told me all about it. I wasn't wearing underwear.
You just
Because I wasn't wearing underwear. I go, you did that on purpose. But yeah, we got to put some stuff in a book. I think we'll all have a really good time. My parents are awesome, and my mom got the gist of it because she was home with us. But we did some stuff. I mean, Brittany was there. She just witnessed from the sidelines like this.
I'm like shocked Brittany is normal.
She wasn't normal. She was crazy too. Like she would do really weird shit. Like she would dress up and like she would do concerts for us at night.
I did.
That's a girl thing. They all do it.
That's a girl thing, man.
And she goes, Mom goes, we're not listening to Troy's music because I was playing NWA and she was going to do a rap video to NWA for everybody. She goes, Mom, I love rap. My mom's like, well, we're not listening to that rap. Put on some MC Hammer.
And some of this stuff is on camera. Like you have little videos of us.
It's all on film.
Oh my god.
It's all on films.
Thank God for like giant video cameras, you know?
Yeah. With the shoulder strap and you carried it. Oh yeah, bro.
I got some like old like Super 8, like or not Super 8, like the DV8, the digital 8 videotapes. Yep. I gotta get all that shit put on DVD because there's some funny ass shit on there.
We do. And I bet you there's some VHS tape floating around there we really don't want around.
Oh, dude, I got one.
Probably left in an attic and shit. Some of the stuff we were doing, like, what were they doing
on Y2K Eve, walking around Phoenix with guns and just fucking around and being idiots all around Phoenix.
Bro, we were terrible. There's some things that we just can't even. You just can't even. It has to go in a book because the world is not ready. The world is not ready.
Meta is not ready.
Yeah, no shit. Oh my god, I thought I had my brother.
No, we did. We really didn't hurt Brittany like that stuff or anything, but Bill would just mess with her a lot. But those were different times, and we just had a good time. Nowadays, everybody's stuck on a phone or looking at something, and nobody really. We just had fun, man. Like we survived, man. Rubber band guns, making bombs. I mean, we're doing all kinds of shit. Ping pong, gasoline bombs. What's that?
I said now once those videos go online, they're there forever.
I know.
Loving that shit, man. So that's like, you know, your kids are gonna see that, and your kids be like, "Yeah, here's my grandpa twirling his dick." Fucking.
That's right, Ashley. I'm in meta jail right now. That's right.
I actually got kicked off Twitter again this week for once again. I told guy who's that fucking Weasley little Matt Gates that I hope he gets tank cancer.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. And they kicked you off,
and they won't let me back on until I remove the post. It's been 4 days. I'm not taking it down.
That's funny. They didn't take
Leave
it
it
down?
up and just open a new one.
They have. I'll show you the thing. It's like you can take it down, and the countdown to my 3-day suspension starts. I'm like, so much for free speech, Elon. You cunt. Oh, sorry.
I had to actually take my post down.
What?
It's
because this brings me to a valid point. Marissa was talking about Dejavu, and I asked her today. I said, "Now does Dejavu mean? Let's see.
It's
kind of bright. It's too white.
Bright. Yeah.
There you go.
Oh, there you go.
Temporary limited some of your account features.
I can't even.
Oh, they're limiting it.
Yeah, I can't even go on there at all. And it said it was violent speech. I didn't say I was going to give him tank cancer. So
it doesn't matter.
Put that up there. So.
Yeah, no.
But yeah, so Dejavu, right? So I said, well, Marissa, does that mean you're going on the right? Like, are you on the right path? And like, they're like, hey, these people have been pretty cool. Let's give them a restart. So I said to her, like, what if we're in like a crocodile exhibit, right? And Marissa's like, oh, we need to try this, and we die. We just don't know that we died. And then we get back, and we're like, we've been standing in here before. Is it like a respawn?
Interesting. It's a respawn without the countdown.
Right?
Yeah.
But then she's like, no, during this, and then so tell us, Marissa, what was the outcome, or how did they feel what it was doing? Dejavu and why it happens. What is some of the different belief systems of it? That's what I want to touch on because we fucked around the whole. Oh, I'm sorry.
So with some of the Native American tribes, before coming into this life, there's a blueprint. So there's goals that you want to make. There's something that you want to learn in this particular lifetime. And so before coming to the physical body, you kind of have a blueprint. And what Dejavu is, you know, if you are at the crocodile enclosure with this person, that means you're on your right path. Like it's a sign that you are on your right path to reach that particular goal. So if you have deja vu ever so often, it's actually a good thing. It means that you're on your right path. If you're not having it for a while or you never have it, then you have been steered off your path. And we have that freedom of choice to possibly not get to that goal or not learn that lesson, which means then we would have to come back again into another life and try to get that goal or learn that lesson again. So we can either continue to repeat toxic patterns or whatever it is and not learn, and then but by doing that, you're also diminishing in different levels of life. So instead of going to like a higher level and having a better life, you start decreasing if you have to keep repeating the toxic patterns.
Wow, that's really nice. Ashley loves that premise. Holly said, "Oh shit," and she loves that premise. And so, I think that's cool. I guess. I mean, we can thank like DC and Marvel for the multiverse, because every fucking dickweed talks about the multiverse now because of the fucking movies. Jesus fucking Lord, have mercy. But well, in the multiverse, I'm like, can we not right now? We're busy. So I was just saying, are we respawning or like you said, coming back? It's just interesting. But then I was reading some science on it, and they say that it's when your time, sometimes your brain catches up with the time. Sometimes, like it's already happened. So they say that when something's like us looking at the show has already happened, and then our mind's processing it and showing us that it's happened. It's the way vision and all that stuff was working. So I was reading some of that too, and it's just there's so many different theories on it. But at the end of the day, we really don't know what the fuck it is.
I have that feeling of familiarity all the time. I mean, all the time. I'm like, I feel like I've been here before, but I know I never have. You know, this feels comfortable and familiar. And that's what it is with me. It's a comfort feeling. It's a feeling of ease usually that this is where I'm supposed to be. You know, this is my right thing.
You calm yourself down, Ashley. You know what I'm saying. You're far from a dickweed. But I mean, they just bring it up. They use it for everything now, is what I'm saying. And it's like, come on, guys. We're not at Universal Studios.
Multiverse, the metaverse.
Yeah.
Twitterverse.
In a sense, deja vu can also be if you've ever had a dream and then later on you're like, wait a minute, I dreamt about this, 6 months prior, or that this was in a particular dream. That's also considered a little bit of deja vu. And it's kind of giving you a heads up like, oh, you're going to be getting to another point of that blueprint. So that's because I hear a lot. It's happened to me where I've dreamt something and then it's within 6 months, it happens.
That's very cool, Holly.
Yeah. That's awesome.
I'm pretty sure.
So, wait, but wouldn't that sorry, Jeff. Wouldn't that be visions then? Wouldn't you be considered having visions then? So since you've seen something, whether it's a timeline of 6 months or even a week, if you've had a dream of it like a vision and then all of a sudden you're living it, wouldn't that be considered visions? Like you need to control that more so that you can control those visions and understand what's coming, right?
Yeah. So, but it is in a sense a vision, but it's also like a vision that you're getting close to the next tick in your blueprint. Like it's that you're on the right path.
Gotcha.
Yep. Continue whatever you're doing and you're going to get to this next little tick and then you get the deja vu. So it's like almost like a little mix of a vision and deja vu.
See, Brittany, so you're not having any deja vu, so.
I have had deja vu. I just think it's really interesting. Like I'm learning a lot from it because I think it's cool. I like deja vu.
I learn a lot of stuff like that when you bring up different things. And one thing I like is when you're talking to someone who knows a lot of stuff about, cultures, and Marissa has some insight on that because I don't know a lot about that stuff. I know some of it from certain cultures, but there's a lot that she has old world stuff and things like that. So you learn from it. And it's funny because it happens to everyone, and there's just so many weird things that go on and you're like, man, I just, and so like, it's like the whole world starts to unfold and different things happen. And in that belief that you have to come back and come back and come back and come back to get it right, your blueprint in that aspect. And then, it's crazy, right? Like there's just so many things that we try to look at. Like everybody always talks about the same thing, not like it's a bad thing, but like we need to start expanding into different ideologies on what certain things are with the brain. Like I forget, I sent it to Jeff. I may have sent it to you. And if I didn't, I will. They figured AI assisted in helping figure out a way to grow brains like in a petri dish. Pretty simple. And the website's open for you to use, and you can pay for these little brain cells to work for you in a digital format. Like if you need something written or you want something done or you want to learn a synopsis or you can pay to use them. And when they're not, they just go idle.
Interesting. Are they actual human brain cells or are they?
I'm going to send it to you, I believe so. And they figured out a way to do it. But the controversy was, because obviously it's not legal in some countries, but the controversy was, does it have a conscience?
So I feel like if you have a conscience, it's in your brain.
Yeah, but hold on. Here's the crazy part. So, like, like the conception, right? Like they show like the egg, and then the semen hits the egg, and there's this like flash of light. Like, have you ever seen all that stuff?
Mm-hmm.
So if they figured out a way to do that in a petri dish, are you soul trapping? Like I'm saying legit. Like you could be soul trapping. Like you could be
true
instead of it being done person to person. Like people are doing it, but they're doing it. But it's just this little thing that's stuck in a dish. Your journey isn't like our journey. So the dilemma is like, are you soul trapping? Does it even have one? Are we messing with? I mean, there was just so much to it. I'll send it to you, and then you got to go to the website and look at it. It's freaking like
100 years from now when we're slaves to a bunch of petri dish brains that are way smarter than we are. We're just drones, breeders.
Right? That's what I'm thinking. Like sometimes we should just stop.
Yeah,
we ain't got to go that far.
Some of the AI shit
scares
the crap out of me, dude. I've seen Terminator. I know what Skynet can do.
Yeah, I agree. I think it was them. They already knew that, and they were telling us. I think there's a lot of truth to a lot of movies, dude.
I agree with you with that.
And data.
Yeah, I agree with you.
It's scary as hell, man.
I agree with you, Troy, because that is how you get the public ready for information, and they don't realize it. Like they start to produce it through movies and through television to where your mind starts to get used to it. Mm-hmm. You get what's the word I'm looking for? Not like
indoctrinated.
Kind of, yeah, like subconsciously. So then when things start coming out, it's more or less you don't fear it as much. You kind of see it more as like a movie. Like you don't like it's like murder. Like when you see murder so much in TV and then you see like a car accident, a dead body covered up on the road, it's still a little traumatizing, but you're like, because you've been so like neutralized to it, I guess is the word. Yeah, desensitized. So like I agree with Troy. I think there's a lot of messages being told throughout movies and they do it on purpose to prepare the public for things to come.
I don't know if y'all noticed, if y'all like listen to like any kind of conspiracy theory podcast or stuff like that. A lot of the modern conspiracy theory, they almost follow plots of movies,
Exactly, Ashley.
Yeah.
It's something that,
Well, I hope aliens isn't real because that would suck.
Oh my God. Yeah, I agree. I agree. Yeah. I don't want them to be like that.
That would not be
I
a
want
good
them to be
thing.
like E.T. Let's
that's
make
the
E.T.
most
real.
Brittany, that is the most real I think aliens would be. That's the most real. They're like an exoskeleton and they're like cockroaches and they can take over anything and survive. Like, if you really look at it, that had nothing to do with intelligent. It had to do with us getting involved in shit we shouldn't be involved in and bringing that type of contaminant back to ourselves. One of my favorites was touching on Prometheus. Do you remember when Prometheus touched on the original Alien, Jeff?
Yeah,
that was good.
The original Alien. When you saw the first movie Alien in the theaters in 1978 or 79, that big thing that was sitting like this in that chair, nobody ever knew what that was. And until Prometheus came out, you didn't know it was a human.
Yeah. HR and all the HR Giger fucking super like biomechanical shit. It's crazy, man. Love it.
Yeah. District 9 was another one. That was another crazy one.
So is Independence Day. Ashley's right. Independence Day is like a classic. Like
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if y'all have seen D9, but see it if you haven't.
District 9's crazy.
That's an insane movie.
All of those were good.
Predator.
Isn't another Peter Jackson?
Predator?
Yes.
That's because it looked like it was filmed in Belize.
Is Predator. I'm like, fuck yeah, let's go.
You know what's the other one? I have to agree with is Troy, you're gonna have to help me with this one. It was they did it as an Apollo mission and they brought back stuff from the moon and rocks and it was actual aliens within the rocks.
Yeah, I do remember that. And they were getting to your head.
Yeah, and remember like it started to happen on the shuttle. And it's like that could be real too. Like that is legit because you're messing with stuff from a
bacteria.
Like The Thing.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
Awesome.
Like The Thing. See, thank you.
Now that's a good comedy movie.
Mars Attacks is amazing.
You know what's really scary about AI, I'll tell you what's going to make artificial intelligence stronger than us because AI does not think emotionally. Our biggest weakness as a human is emotion.
Yeah.
Okay.
I agree.
Like that's why crocodiles are so successful. They don't care about you like that.
What about
they're not emotion? They do not have emotions like that. So they survive for thousands and thousands of years because they survive off logic. That's why I was always trying to tell younger people. You got us, Captain Kirk, Croc's Spock. Right? That's illogical.
That's true.
You can't fall in love with that ball, but I love it, Spock.
Yeah,
It
you're not
makes
going
me
to talk
feel
a croc
good.
out of eating you. That's for shit sure. Like,
Right. So
"Man, I
like
got kids, dude.
they know how to respect you and they understand there's a lot more to them when you're too hands off.
A little more.
And Marissa and I talk about this because Marissa's very fortunate too. She gets to work hands on. Like too many facilities, like where Ashley's at, everything's so hands off, and we're scared someone might get snipped. So you kind of like ruin the relationship respect you get from Crocs. Like she does good with Crocs, but she's only can be as good as she's allowed to get in there with, you know? So when you take that into consideration, like when you work with them, you ruin the respect of a lot of stuff because we talked about it, Marissa, when I said humans have a tendency to think that they're the greatest thing. And since they're the greatest thing, we overlook a lot of I've seen some amazing things with animals that go against what you've been taught as a thing. What is that? Disagree male crocs during breeding season are emotional and get themselves killed. Nope. Doesn't work. Chemicals not there. You can talk to Dr. Marissa. Nice one. You can try that. Nope. That's just called testosterone and everybody's horny and killing each other for the next thing. They all do that. But as far as thinking emotionally, breeding is a whole different ballgame. But emotionally thinking like, oh, that baby died. They don't give a fuck. They'll eat their own babies if they're hungry. Nope, it's not. I'll let Marissa get on that one. We talked about it today, actually. It was a very interesting thing. There's certain chemicals that make up an emotional brain that a lot of animals don't have it.
Oxytocin.
Yeah.
Oxytocin, dopamine.
Now, she knows how to pull the brain apart and take all the fluids and understand what's inside a Croc's brain, even more than I do. But just understanding them over time, they think very logically and they learn to respect you over time. But I personally don't believe that they ever fully think, yeah, you're my best friend. I think they're waiting for a time for that. They just having a bad day and they'll exploit you. Trust me. I've been in multiple situations when a crocodile tried to exploit you. I'm sure you have too, Marissa.
Yeah, but
like they're like, oh, you didn't wear the right shoes. You're done, motherfucker.
I mean, Gilly does it all the time. He's always with me. No, but I could have sworn I told you I had that one Croc, Sam, and we completely connected. So she's on an episode with Steve Irwin, and she's chasing the shit out of him. She's like fucking rad. She's going after Steve Irwin. I get her. She's letting me pet her head. She's letting me get super close to her. Like there was, I don't know what it was, but there was a connection between this.
Maybe that female energy.
Yeah, that too. And how many males? Is that the one that doesn't like other males? Or do you have someone else that doesn't like males? With you, human males?
No, Gilly, who is a male, because they
doesn't like other men in there.
Especially tall white men. He does not like tall white men.
I'll walk in on my knees.
God, I'm short.
I mean, I'll walk in on my knees. Yeah, there's a lot of it. There's a lot of it, man. And we have Marissa and I have some great conversations. And you know, there's a lot. I'm not limited on what I do with crocodiles because I own big ones and I own a lot of them, and I get to work with them on a daily basis. So I learn a lot more. No one's telling me what I can and can't do, or I've been on the clock too long, or whatever like that. So it's been really cool. That's where I really benefit from that. I think a lot of people would. But I'll say, like, God, this thing, like we were talking about the little movement of the tail and stuff at the very end and what that means. And Flavio and I got into that conversation the other day. There's just so much to it. I can't wait to get down there and talk about that. Yes, Samantha. Dom is a big American crocodile that's currently living over at the Sarasota Jungle Gardens. He did not like overweight men for some reason. And
probably one sat on him at one point or another.
Possible, but they didn't like the way he looked. And then we got a female named Kananga that didn't like women. But we found out it wasn't that she didn't like women. She didn't like long hair for a long time. So somebody with long hair must have done something that perturbed her. Wow. And she held on to it. Because she actually bit me. She caught me one time. When I was trying to get another hot dog out of the damn cage because he was trying to go in there and show off, and I was able to pull him through. But as I pulled through, she bulldozed between us and she actually grabbed onto my leg. She's like, she was seriously pissed off that day, and she was fast. But when it comes down to it, like he did not like overweight people. So Flavio would walk a keeper in that was a little, like a hefty, like a 14 husky. He would fucking. When I mean come out of there, bro, it was like he had like someone kicked on a Yamaha jet ski. He would fly out of there after somebody. And some of those big people, they just can't move that quick, And if they were to trip and fall, it's just a bad day.
You're gonna be
so we were like, listen, if you're kind of and then it caused a problem because they're like, oh, you're discriminating my weight. Nope, you just can't work with the Croc if you're fat because he doesn't like them. It's not me. It's you. Yeah. The Croc doesn't want you in there. I can't go in there and go, Dominic. again, tap into his emotional side. Can you not hurt the fat person's feelings because they want to come in here and work with you too? Can't do it. Croc's like, fuck off. I live in my world and there's nothing you can do about it. So they have these little idiosyncrasies. And when people go, they're colorblind, I'm like, no, they're not. There's certain colors they don't like. There's so much to them. And all this stuff comes at you and you're like, no, I've been doing this. You're wrong. You're wrong. You're wrong. So they're just such a great, they're one of my favorite species because of how intricate they really are. I think that's what. Yeah, that's right, Ashley. You can't help it if it's fatophobic.
That's right. You can't help it. That's a good statement.
But I mean, you can't. And then someone gets upset about it. Like, what do you want me to do? Push you in there? He's going to eat you. And then we're not going to be able to train him because he's going to be full for at least 6 months.
Oh my God.
So let's get it together.
He's not going to do anything.
Right. I'm telling you, and Ashley knows this, if you over-treat a croc, they don't do shit. They're like, I'm not walking over there. Her and I went to this facility, and I'm not going to say what it is, and we watched these people try to train an American croc. And I know Ashley was like, don't say anything. Stop. Just watch. Don't say anything. But oh my God, I wanted to so bad. This dumbest shit I've ever seen. And they rewarded that animal for every terrible thing it did. So who's training who on that one?
Oh my God.
Yep. Positive reinforcement for negative behavior.
And I'm like, Ashley, I don't even think it can
like
walk.
Training
it was
101
so.
no.
Yeah, they go in there with like a 14-foot bass.
Animal.
Hey, buddy, here's your treat. We're going to train you with a 14-foot bass. It's like, what are you doing, dude? What are you doing?
Oh my God.
What are you doing?
Oh
so
my God.
We watched it, and she's like, I know. I'm like, God, just go show them, but you can't. You can't even get involved. We all live by the rule.
You try to give them instruction, man.
Yeah, if and Marissa can vouch. I love learning. If there's something I don't know, I will call, and I'll say, what do you think about this? I don't like, I know everything. I don't do that. Because I think you should always learn him. And I've learned a lot from talking to her about some things, especially when it comes, we talked about, disease today was it today or yesterday? I think it was today, about where they get it, like something inside their body. And remember I said Flavio said Baytril could have cured it.
Oh yeah. That was yesterday.
Then, you showed me pictures. I'm like, yeah. And it was the same thing. And it's just really, there's so much that we can still learn with that stuff. It wasn't one of my crocs. It was at another place. And we were just discussing what could have, the possibilities of it. But it was a caiman actually. But so we learn if we keep at it, but if you respect every single thing, like it is a living entity equal to you, you just learn more. I'm sorry. Yes, I don't crawl around on my belly in the dirt and eat pieces of chicken that you throw at me, but that doesn't mean that he's not smart and in his element, he's a king. And that's just how I feel about it, And people can argue with me, and I'm like, I'm not even going to listen to you. So go home and pet your bearded dragon.
Wouldn't that apply to like most of the larger species of animals like that? Like are their own, like in their own domain, like large cats?
Well, I wouldn't want to say larger. I think any species, to be honest.
I just mean, well, like you mentioned like a bearded dragon, obviously there's, that's nothing compared to a croc. But
yeah, but Flavio
I mean, like a lion, like
no, Flavio was training frogs. He just got the respect, and he trains frogs.
I love.
Like,
frogs.
that's
the best.
To do that. You have to understand. You got to be able to communicate with the animal. That's another thing we talk about. Like people forget the animals have their own language.
Yeah,
they learn. Yeah. They communicate with language. So do we. We just got lazy and forgot how to do it.
Yeah.
Was it Flavio wanted to try to train coach whips?
Yes. He did train coach whips, and he did really good with it, and that's why he loves them, because they're smart.
Is next level.
Yeah, and just to be able to understand, it's really comes down, if you ask them, understanding the behavior of the animal. What does it do to communicate? And if you could pick that up, then it's a lot easier. So that it will be for another show, and I think we should get into that, Marissa. That would be cool.
Rock brains, I'm in.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's do a lot of that this week and really try to get into it, and then I honestly think, Marissa, they look at people's brains. Some brains have more gray brain matter, and some brains have more white brain matter. And the people who have more gray brain matter
stuff like that
are more ADHD. They commit crimes. They're a little bit different. They've got a little bit different color if you read about it. And I think in crocodiles, if we were to get into their brains, each different species would probably have different chemicals, I would think.
No, absolutely. I mean, an American crocodile is completely, the behavior and just a bunch of stuff is different from an Indo-Pacific. I mean, there's absolutely, because it's different environments, it's different evolution for prey and all this other stuff. Like our wild crocodiles, our American Amorelette's crocodiles. Oh no. Yes. Oh, you're there. Okay. Sorry. I thought I froze. they're timid and shy. Like, I mean, that's why we go in the water with them. If we need to catch them, I've kayaked next to a 14-footer. But if I did the shit that I do here in Australia, I'd be fucking done, man. Like, just fucking done. So there's
or in the African Nile.
Yeah, I'd be done. And so I absolutely agree. Like, there is going to be a difference in the physical, but also chemical of the brain in each different species. That's a great graduate project. There you go, Troy.
Well, that's a good graduate project. I want you to take this into consideration. If you think of the American crocodile here in Florida, acts very similar to the American crocodile in Belize. But if you go to Costa Rica, it's a whole fucking different story.
Well, they
act
also may be
completely different. So it's conditioning too.
Yes, and it might be a different species down there too.
Yeah, but isn't it still the porosis?
No.
Not the porosis, the acutus. I mean, it's still the acutus in Costa Rica.
Yes.
So you think that'd be a separate species of acutus, so they would possess different chemicals? Is that what you're talking about? Okay.
Yeah.
Because they act totally different. Like the Jamaican Americans are a really good-looking crocodile, I think. I like the way the Jamaicans look with that black on them. I think they're cool looking.
They're very timid and shy as well.
Right. But I agree 100%. And a lot of it, what's interesting to me is all baby American crocodiles. And in every porosis that I've ever had, they're always really shy compared to like Cubans or even dopey baby alligators. But Graham Webb told me when they're first born or hatched, whatever you want to call it, they'll live in crayfish holes for like the first year and a half of their life. They're scared to death. So I started throwing PVC tubes in with my babies, and they would live in there with just the tip of their nose sticking out of it, so they can. And then you find that you start feeding them a little bit, and they'd eat, and then a couple weeks later they'd start to come out a little further, and they learn that it's okay. But it's so interesting how they have that to hide. Now, a Cuban, you just walk in there and he's off the thing, man. He's like, hey, he doesn't care how big he is. You know what I'm saying? And it's the funniest thing I've ever seen. So, but Americans and the salties are just so timid when they're very, very little.
Yeah.
Is that like self-ingrained? Like, is that ingrained into their brain from generation of like for survival? Is that like in their brain, like through generation? Like,
it would have to be something. Yes, it would, because again, crocodiles mainly, they really thrive on their instinct. They know what to do. Correct? I mean, I would say, right, Marissa?
Mm-hmm.
In your opinion, they know.
Yeah.
Okay, the weather's changing. Fish are going to move. It's instinctual. They know what to do. They know they know how to do the stars. They control different parts of their body with their to be able to consciously control your heart is a sign of intelligence that nobody knows.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Like dolphins have to sleep on their side because I believe that dolphins are conscious breathers. Did you know that?
I thought they were, unihemispheric. Yeah, they have the unihemispheric.
Don't they have to like kind of like at the thing? I'd be like, why are they doing that? They're like, because they have to make themselves breathe.
It's not autonomic. Is that what you mean? Like it doesn't just.
I didn't know that. That's
awesome. I'm pretty sure. I could be mistaken, but I'm pretty sure that's what I was reading. That they have to like there's ways they have to sleep on each side of their body. So I thought that was really cool, man. Like so.
That's neat.
I wonder if that has to do with the
I mean, I'm not saying I'm just saying what I was reading. Like people read all kinds of stuff, but I was just reading like, dolphins were spotted. They're kind of on their side a little bit, and so they literally can like shut down one side of their body for rest and open the other because they're conscious breathers. I was reading that they're conscious breathers. So then you get into the crocodile, who consciously controls his heart arteries and can turn valves off the same way you can just pick up a bottle. That's
insane.
Man. That's some of the most amazing stuff I've ever.
That's an intelligent creature right there.
Yeah.
It would revolutionize medicine, that's for sure. Like cardiac medicine.
Yeah, I think they're just really smart, Craig.
That's insane. I mean, that just goes to show.
Yeah, they shut down one side of their brain at a time. That's right. That's what I was thinking. Yeah. Because they are a conscious breather. Maybe that's true in all of those whales. I don't know. I'm not sure, but I remember reading
marine mammals and birds and mainly raptors and then crocodilians have the unihemispherics sleeping. So where they shut down one side of their brain so they can rest.
I bet they sleep.
I think those orange cave crocs weren't those osteolamus, Marissa?
Yes.
Those and wasn't that like a calcium or something in the water or something that made them orange?
It was their food source. They ate a lot of crayfish that turns the osteolamus more orange. And then there was also something, the guano from the bat also reacted with their skin, which turned them more orange. We're not seeing that with the Crocs in the caves here in Belize.
Probably because they probably don't have the same type of.
Oh, there you are.
Did you hear me? I said, do they have the same kind of shellfish?
Well, there's difference. We do have crayfish. We're seeing crayfish, but there's a lot of fish. And then you see agouti and other small mammals getting into the cave systems. So, and we're still trying to figure out if the Crocs in the caves here, if they are temporary or if they are permanent residents of the caves.
Is it agouti like that little short rodent?
Yes, and I was telling you,
you're going to have Brittany eat some when you're there, right? You said you were going to have.
I was going to say I wanted you to eat the.
Oh, I'm not eating that. I'm not eating no pygmy capybara. Not going to happen, dude.
Oh, those are
That's not going to happen. They look like a little cat. I used to see them when I went to Belize and we were staying there. I'd see them come running out of the deck sometimes from under that deck at that place, like a little mini capybara. And Marissa's going to cook some up. I'm like, get the fuck! I'm not even.
Can you guys see that?
What is it?
Oh, that's so sad. Gecko. He's dead.
He dried up.
Yeah, it's his
skeleton.
It was.
See, there's a little deja vu for you.
It was stuck on my seat.
You sat on him last week. That's what happened.
Probably did.
To death, Brittany.
You killed him.
Oh, don't make me feel bad.
Well, we are at 20 minutes past the hour, and I love hanging out with everybody. And thanks everybody for coming in and chilling with us, man.
I'm
Jeff,
putting
it was
him
great
under
talking
the
to you.
magnifying glass.
Sorry about what you went through.
It's all good, man. You know what?
Shitty, but I can tell you're spicy about it. You're spicy about it, I can tell, and you've been talking a lot, and I like it.
Yeah, you know, it's something I get over pretty quick. It's senseless and stupid, man. You know,
I'm 100% agreeance with that. We all know about that, don't we, Ashley?
You know, especially, I mean, if you smoke, it hurts the end user, but otherwise, committing crimes and masterminding shit, you just
Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that. That's just bullshit. But I know you'll land on your feet because you're like styling like that.
I always do.
I got to run out and lock up some animals. You know, we drop a little cool this time. There's a few that still come in when it's this cold, just because.
We got today at 82 degrees, man.
I know, wasn't it nice? It was nice.
Yeah.
I was feeling all Belizean today.
Yep, I had my.
But it's warm. It looked like it snowed in Florida. But anyways, thanks for everybody coming out to the Motley Croc Show. We're 1 hour and 22 minutes into it. We love having everybody. We're going to be, Brittany and I will be in Belize in 2 weeks. We're going to go down to Marissa's gala. She's got a gala. I guess the country puts together like a tourism thing. So we're going to go down there and represent. We're going to have not for me. It's going to be a black t-shirt event.
I will be wearing a formal dress, and I just told him.
You bet exploring.
Sunday.
I'm not wearing it. I think if you're a grown man and you go there formal and you're in Belize, you have mental problems. So we're going to be down there in Belize doing that for her. So we'll probably do some cool stuff from there. It'll be a Thursday. Maybe I'll broadcast from there and we'll just kind of show everybody what's up. And we'll have a really good time. Thursday night when I'm there, I'll probably shoot something up.
Florida.
Yeah, dumb old Florida. And we'll make sure that we touch base with everybody on that. Go check that out too. And that's on the CRC, on the Instagram on the CRC. And then Dr. Tea's Marissa Tea's on the social media. Check that stuff out. Watch her stories because, I mean, he posted. And if you can't go, donate some money or something. Don't be a cheap shit. You know what I'm saying? Don't be a cheap shit. Support something. Even if it's a couple of bucks, just do something. But anyways, yeah, I think it'd be really cool. Yeah, Holly, I'm glad you came in.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I'm not wearing a suit. Nobody wears suits there. Would you tell her? Would you tell her that's not what they do? I told you people think I'm a scumbag. You didn't believe me, Marissa. But they just don't do that there.
Yeah.
They wear flip-flops and they chill there, man. It's a chill gala.
It's I mean,
nice, Dad. Love you too.
I was gonna say, well, just wear something that doesn't have holes all over it. You'll be fine.
Oh, I'm wearing holes now. I got jeans for that. I got jeans to show my underwear. I'm done now. You started it. I'm going to wear a t-shirt that says kill your local pedophile. I'm going to walk in there.
Oh my God.
Or you know what I want? I want one that says, I want a bite of your fat bread.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. So we're going to leave the show tonight. Thanks for everybody for coming out to the Motley Croc Show. You have a great night. We always love seeing everybody, and we will see you next week. Good luck to everybody, and good night.